Yo, what it do? It's your boy, the Expert Genius, aka XP, back on the block with another video for you boxing enthusiasts. Now, I'm doing this video again in response to Tony reviews and something he said in his comments. Let me see. I don't know if y'all can read that. Pause the video if you want to read it. But you know, he basically said this Ortiz Whyte BS that I saw you going back and forth with LJ about is bullshit. The fact is, Whyte never had to fight Ortiz. Whyte on his own agreed to fight Ortiz if Wilder only, he said, only agreed to fight Ortiz if and only if Wilder would put his name on the contract. Yeah. He did tell IFL that, but I'm gonna get back to that. Wilder is the one who refused to put his name on the contract, stating that if Whyte beats Ortiz, he would fight Whyte next. Thus, the Whyte-Ortiz fight never happened. Once again, everything that I'm about to state in this video in response, the facts, like I said, the facts that you can't refute, everything will be in the descriptions so everybody can go back and look at the timeline and see who's full of shit and who's not. Now, let's get back to finishing what he said. 800 plus days is mandatory. This the longest anyone in the history of boxing has been the mandatory for a title. Let's see, because I do recall Kubrat Pulev becoming the mandatory in 2016. It was either May or December of 2016 because he fought twice. Even though they were for, WBA, the IBF still named him mandatory. And like I said, I do recall him being the mandatory in 2016, but then, he had to pull out because of injury. But then they had him fight Huey Fury for the mandatory to see who's going to be mandatory. I guess they're trying to make a new mandatory or whatever. But he beat Huey Fury. So, with that being said, Kubrat Pulev has been the IBF mandatory for well over 1,200 days. Let that sink in. But let's get back. Let's get back to this. As my boy BFTB say, let's get back to this work. Now, if Wilder beats Fury or not, thought next message of being, what the hell is he saying? If Wilder beats Fury or not through text message. Oh, okay. Through text message to being too scared to put his name on the contract. Wilder is scared shitless of Whyte. Let's cook, people. Because, like I said, what he's referring to is an interview Dillian Whyte gave back in May of 2018. Now, this what I'm about to read is what the Express over there in the UK published Friday, May 11th, 2018. So, Dillian Whyte had to have gave this interview to IFL TV May 10th of 2018. But like I said, everything will be in the description. Now, published and updated by the Express Friday, May 11th, 2018. Dillian Whyte. Deontay Wilder doesn't want it. He keeps coming up with excuses. He keeps trying to put barriers between me and him. Now, let me stop it right there. Put up barriers. Wasn't that what Eddie Hearn was trying to do to Deontay Wilder when he was trying to fight Anthony Joshua? Is put up a barrier and put Dillian Whyte is that barrier? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. This is also Dillian Whyte. Let's break this down for the people. He just fought Ortiz voluntary defense. Ortiz is ranked way below me. I believe Luis Ortiz was ranked number 4. So I guess number 4 is way below number 1. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. You knock him out. Where'd I go? Yeah. You knock him out. How can he just get knocked out in a voluntary defense and automatically back in title contention again? Now, let me stop it there and let me break this down, because this is going to be concerning Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte. Now, he wants to talk about how Ortiz gets knocked out, but he's still in title contention. Okay. Well, when Anthony Joshua was ranked 36 by the WBC, he never fought no fighter in the top 25, ranked in the top 25 of the WBC. The only ranked fighter he fought was ranked 28. And I think that jumped him because he had a couple of fights before that fight. Then he fought that fighter at rank 28, and that bumped him up to 18. Then he had another fight and went up to 19. And then a couple of fights after that, he shoots up to number 2. So how did Anthony Joshua go from 36 to rank number 2, and he only fought one fighter ranked in the WBC, and that fighter wasn't even ranked in the top 25. He was ranked 28. Dillian Whyte. How did he get ranked number 1 and he never fought a fighter ranked highly in the WBC? At least Joshua did fight somebody that was ranked 28. Dillian Whyte just shoots up to number 1. And let's get on this 800 plus day mandatory stuff. In 2010, the WBC did away with the WBC interim title for the WBC Silver Championship. And if you go to the WBC rules and regulations, it states a WBC Silver Champion cannot become mandatory to the WBC champion unless he fights in a Final Eliminator. Plus, how is he mandatory for 600 days or 800 plus days when the mandatory was Dominic Brazil, because Dillian Whyte, when he was at rank number 1, chose to fight Robert Helenius, who was ranked number 9 by the IBF, for a vacant WBC Silver Championship. Explain that to me, Tony. And another thing, if you do away with the interim title for the WBC Silver Championship, how do you bring the interim title back for a fight versus Whyte and Rivas? What was the whole point of getting rid of the interim title for the Silver Championship? So now we still got the Silver Championship out there, who Daniel Dubois has now, and we have the interim championship, which was reinstated back to Dillian Whyte. All right, let's move on to that, because this dude said some more corny ass shit. Dillian Whyte goes on to say, when you lose for for a world title, you go all the way down. It's a normal process. When you lose, you have to build back again. Dang it, all these damn notifications. Yeah, you have to build back again. But like I said, if Ortiz wants it, he can have it. But here's the thing. This is what Tony is talking about. But only if Deontay Wilder agrees to fight me next and nobody else. I will fight Luis Ortiz and I will run through him. He's an old man. I'll dismantle him. He gets tired and I will leave him in a bad way. A bad way. Now, I told y'all, it's in the descriptions. This was published by The Express over in the UK, Friday, May 11th, 2018. Now, because, Tony gets this, he got it mixed up in his head. He gets his dates wrong and he gets some of his information wrong because he's clouded with his hatred over Deontay Wilder. But I'm here to fix that for him and for y'all, because on the Boxing Voice, March 30th, 2018, and if I'm not mistaken, March does come before May, right? Right? Oh, I'm just checking. Just checking. March 30th, 2018, on the Boxing Voice, Deontay Wilder said, I have no problem with Dillian Whyte. If they put Joshua on the contract, I have no problem fighting Whyte. Now, this ain't the first time Deontay Wilder has stated if they put Joshua on the contract, he would fight Dillian Whyte. It's not the first time. So this is why he said this on the Boxing Voice. Let me go back to what he said. If they put Joshua on the contract, I have no problem fighting Whyte. I'll make another deal. Well, I'll make them another deal. If Dillian Whyte fights and beats Ortiz, I will fight Dillian Whyte. That's another one for them. They can take it or leave it. The only way they can get me in with Dillian Whyte is if they fight Ortiz and they beat him, or they put Joshua on the contract. I will fight you easy. That's March 30th. Like we all know, March 30th, 2018 comes before May 10th or May 11th, 2018. Now, what happened after March 30th? Oh, like I said, everything will be in the description. Well, besides after what I'm about to say, but April 24th, 2018, the WBC orders Whyte versus Ortiz in a final eliminator to determine the second mandatory to WBC champion Deontay Wilder. Meaning, after Deontay Wilder beat Dominic Breazeale, there wouldn't have been no Ortiz. If Whyte would have went out there and beat Ortiz, there wouldn't have been no Ortiz rematch. Because right after Wilder beat Dominic Breazeale, he would have had to have faced Dillian Whyte. So we would have seen Dillian Whyte in this last fight and not Ortiz. Now, this one's not in the descriptions. Y'all can go look this one up for yourself, but we all know this. After April 24, 2018, when the WBC ordered Whyte versus Ortiz, May 3rd, 2018, Hearn wanted to appeal the WBC's order for Whyte versus Ortiz. Let's skip ahead. Let's scroll down these articles. You know, October 9th, 2018, Ortiz accepts Dillian Whyte's challenge. Now, Dillian Whyte had did an interview stating that, he had offered Ortiz, a shot at him, a few years back, and Ortiz turned it down, which that offer was for $250,000 to fight Dillian Whyte, and Ortiz turned it down because he wasn't accepting him $250,000, which we know after he made that statement, he came back and said that they made him an offer for 200, not 200, but 2.5 million. But Eddie Hearn said it was somewhere around 2 million. So Dillian Whyte is trying to cover himself, saying that they raised the offer by 1,000%. But Ortiz responded to that, where he how can I put this? He disputed that, and he said that if they want to fight, they can fight on the Wilder Fury undercard December 1st, 2018, which Dillian Whyte responded with and suggested that they fight December 22nd in London if Ortiz wanted to fight. So Ortiz responded with this. After much thought and consideration, I accept your challenge. If you won't come down to USA, then I'll step off the Wilder Fury card, fly over to the UK, and fight you in your own backyard. Done deal. Enough talking that rubbish you speak. Send over the contract and I'm there. Now, you got yourself a real problem, son. So now, what you gonna do? We know what he did because he got radio silent. Him and Eddie Hearn got radio silent. Because remember, when Ortiz and Dillian Whyte was having they back and forth in early October, they were trying to make the Derek Chisora fight, but that wasn't coming through because they couldn't agree on anything and they couldn't agree on money. So that's why he tried to call Ortiz's bluff and say, they can fight December 22nd in London, which we seen Ortiz accepted that. But like I said, Eddie Hearn and Dillian Whyte, after uh, Ortiz accepted that, went radio silent. And then November 1st, 2018, Dillian Whyte versus Derek Chisora rematch is set. Tear all this stuff off. Like I said, all that will be in the description besides the Eddie Hearn appeal, because I didn't think that was much important to put off into the description. Y'all want to see that? Y'all can go look that up for yourself. But I just had to give y'all a timeline and let you know, Tony, that you need to do more research before you start speaking, bro, because you not speaking facts. And for LJ, when you said that Ortiz only got piped up when the Chisora Whyte rematch was made, just debunked. Because he accepted that challenge October 9th, 2018. And the Chisora Whyte rematch wasn't made until November 1st, 2018. Like I said, everything is in the description. Y'all need to do more research. And before anybody, I want y'all to do me a favor. Before anybody hits the dislike button or hits the like button, just go read the articles, do your own analysis, put two and two together, come up with your own opinion and your own thoughts, and make your judgment, and come back and hit the like or dislike button. Because you can't refute facts. I'm not on here talking out of my ass, talking other people's talking points just because I don't care or like a certain fighter. No. Yes, I'm a Wilder fan, but I'm a fan of boxing first. I'm a Crawford fan. I don't like what he signing with Top Rank and the stuff that was going on. I don't speak on it because I'm not agreeing with it. I'm a Keith Thurman fan. He did some stuff that I called out that I didn't like. See, I'm not like most of y'all that just because a fighter I like, they do something I don't approve of, I'll still defend it. No, I'll call him out on it. And if it's a fighter I don't care for, I'll call him out on it. And if he does something good, I'll give him his credit. But you guys, y'all don't do that. Anything y'all hear, y'all take it at face value without doing any research or fact checking. But I just had to debunk everything you said, Tony, and body you again, bro. I mean, come on, man. You better than this, man. Do your research. But this is your boy, the Expert Genius. Shout out to the LDBC. And I'm out.